Do you share your past or let it rest? Orji, a very wealthy young man, blessed with so much riches, lived in a very big mansion with his lovely family. He was a respected businessman and pillar of the community. Orji's home was admired not only for its beauty but for the laughter and love that seemed to flow from its walls. He lived there with his wife Cheta and their two lovely children, Eze and Adanne, who embodied the unity their family was celebrated for. However, as the elders often said, the river may look calm, but beneath its surface, stones may hide sharp edges. Orji's peaceful home was about to be rocked by an unforeseen storm, one rooted in the past. One fateful day, a young, beautiful woman named Amanda knocked on the gate of the Orji's household. She was beautiful, with skin like ebony, polished by the moonlight, and eyes that held stories untold. She introduced herself as a humble girl, seeking to work as a house help. She was soft spoken and respectful. Cheta, always a passionate soul, welcomed Amanda with open arms, grateful for the extra help in managing the household. What Cheta didn't know was that Amanda's arrival was no coincidence. She was the daughter of Leila, a woman Orji had once loved and abandoned some years ago. Amanda had come not out of necessity, but to avenge the pain her mother had endured, a pain that had eventually led to her untimely death. Decades ago, Orji had been a charming young boy, full of ambition and promise. He had met Leila at a village festival, and the two fell deeply in love. Their relationship bloomed under the coconut tree, where they exchanged promises of forever. As they grew into their late teenage years, Leila became pregnant. At first, Orji was excited, but as the days passed, Orji's love turned to fear. Unwilling to face the judgment of society and tempted by the lure of wealthier match, he left her for Cheta, the daughter of a prominent family. Heartbroken and ostracized by her community, Leila struggled to raise her daughter alone. The shame and loneliness consumed her, and she fell into depression. By the time Amanda was 7, Leila had succumbed to an illness that the village whispered was due to the heartbreak from Orji. Amanda was left to fend for herself, growing up with a burning hatred for the man who had shattered her mother's life. So she vowed that when she is grown, that she would go and look for the man and revenge for her mother. Once inside the Orji's household, Amanda observed every detail. She learned the rhythms of the family, their joys, their struggles, and their vulnerabilities. To the outside world, she was a diligent and respectful househelp, always eager to assist, but behind closed doors, she was a meticulous architect of discord. She began her mission, planting seeds of doubts and mistrust, small incidents that slowly escalated. She noticed Cheta's insecurities about Orji's past relationships and began to exploit them. One day, Amanda accidentally found an old photograph of Leila, her late mother, among his belongings. She handed it to Cheta with an innocent smile, looking innocent about its significance. I thought this might be important, she said sweetly. Cheta's face darkened with suspicion. Amanda's actions became more deliberate over time. She began whispering to Eze and Adanne, questioning their father's integrity. Your father is such a great man, she would say. her tone laced with enough doubt to make them wonder. But everyone has secrets, don't they? She would ask. She would leave small notes around the house, mimicking a mysterious hand, suggesting that Audrey had hidden truths. Cheta, already on edge from the photograph, started to believe that her husband was keeping things from her. Arguments became frequent, with Cheta accusing Audrey of being secretive and untrustworthy. Amanda, so determined to dismantle the happy family he had built, Amanda devised a plan. She called a struggling young woman named Tasha, offering her a huge sum of money to seduce Audrey. Tasha hesitated, but eventually agreed, lured by the promise of financial stability. One morning, Amanda orchestrated a perfect scenario after she overheard Audrey the previous night telling Cheta that he was in search of an assistant. She hurriedly went to Cheta and suggested Tasha, who she introduced as a family friend in need of a job, could assist him. Cheta, so innocent of Amanda's plans, agreed with her and asked her to bring Tasha over to the house the next day. The next day, Amanda had ensured that Cheta had a charity event to attend and wouldn't be at home by the time Tasha would be coming over to the house. Tasha arrived at the house dressed modestly, and she introduced her to Audrey as the new help in his office. Amanda watched from the shadows as she saw Audrey, unsuspecting, smile warmly at Tasha and led her into the office. Over the hours, Amanda's heart raced, imagining the chaos her plan would bring. The next morning, Cheta discovered text messages on Audrey's phone, photos of Tasha and him in compromising positions. Shocked and heartbroken, later that day, she confronted her husband Audrey. Audrey was so confused, denying any wrongdoings, but the evidence was there. Amanda observed the aftermath with a cold satisfaction. Her plan had worked. The Audrey family was in shambles, and she felt a twisted sense of justice for her mother. Amanda underestimated Cheta. She had always trusted her husband, and something about the situation didn't add up. One evening, Amanda came up with another plan. During a family dinner, Amanda staged her skills. She simulated distress, tears running down her face, as she accused Audrey of inappropriate advances. The room fell silent as her words echoed through the air like a thunderclap. Cheta, already simmering with resentment, erupted in anger and left the table. The once happy family descended into chaos, their bond unraveling like an old shabby clothes. Cheta's instincts led her to Amanda, whose nervous behaviors has raised suspicions. Cheta discovered a trail of payments leading to Tasha. She hurriedly reached out to Tasha. Terrified, Tasha confessed everything, including Amanda's true identity and motive. Cheta, though devastated, decided to take the high road. Instead of exposing Amanda to Audrey, she confronted her privately. "I know who you are, Amanda," Cheta said, her voice steady. "I know what Audrey did to your mother was unforgivable, but destroying this family won't erase the pain of your past. You've only added to it." Amanda broke down. The weight of her actions crashed over her. Cheta, showing unexpected grace, offered her forgiveness and a chance to start anew. Amanda found a new path. She packed her things and left the orgies that day, but not in anger, letting go of all the hatred that had once defined her. Carrying Cheta's words with her, she realized her mother's pain had turned a destructive force within her, one that she needed to confront and heal from. She vowed to honor her mother by building a life of integrity, leaving vengeance behind. Cheta confronted Ojid later at night so they could talk about the entire chaos that had been going on in their once happy family. I was a coward, he admitted. I made choices that caused pain, and for that, I have lived with regret. But destroying my family will not bring her mother back, said Oji, with so much tears in his eyes. He apologized to Cheta for not telling her about his past and not telling her about Amanda over the years. Though the Oji's family was fractured, they began the slow process of healing. Oji sought to make amends not only with his family but also with the memory of Leila. He founded a community center in her name, a place for single mothers and children in need, hoping to turn his regrets into a force for good. And so the grand house of Oji stood once again in peace, though the echoes of the past remain a reminder that even the calmest river can hide the sharpest stones.